आ जाओ please.
Thank you.
Comfortable?
Yes.
You introduce yourself to all of us.
My name is Ayman Habib. I belong to District Jhelum. I was born and raised in Mangla, Kent. My early education and schooling is from Mangla as well as Jhelum. Now coming towards my family, I am the youngest among my 4 sisters, and my father is a retired banker and my mother is a retired teacher. And I've graduated in 2021 from UET Texila with a major in electrical engineering and specialization in power. During the course of my undergraduate degree, I have been an active participant of both technical as well as non-technical societies. And during my final year, I have had the opportunity to be a general secretary of a mechanical engineering-based society. I was the photography head of UET Media Club. I have had the opportunity to be campus ambassador in 2019 for an Islamabad-based Olympiad. And right after my graduation, I attempted CSS, gave CSS my first attempt. And after my attempt, I got my first job as a research and development engineer in an Islamabad-based startup. And so far in my service, I have been one of the inventors of 2 patents. And apart from my academic life, I am a photographer and I really enjoy playing table tennis.
Thank you.
Yes.
So you want to join the Federal Services of Pakistan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, introduce Pakistan to us.
Pakistan is an independent sovereign state having 4 provinces and a federal capital territory. It has a state religion, which is Islam, and national language is Urdu. And it has a number of ethnicities and religious minorities living in Pakistan. And we have a parliamentary form of government.
What is the population of Pakistan?
It's above 220 million people.
What is the area? What is the size?
796096 kilometers squares.
You tell me how you will differentiate between globalization and protectionism policies of Russia, of China, and USA.
Okay.
The world was, in fact, it was a globalized world.
Yes, sir.
Now it is reverting back to protectionism policies. How it is, because there is a trade war going on between USA and China.
Yes, sir. So first of all, I would like to explain how the world was globalized. So globalization incorporated political integration, economic integration, economic interdependence, and technological integration as well. And we have had multiple multinational organizations, political organizations, economic organizations. But since the start of this century, America has been involved in wars and in encountering terrorism. So it was not very much inclined toward the fact that China would emerge as an economic power. But now that USA has kind of adopted protectionist policies towards China. It has created a lot of non-tariff barriers toward China, because in the bilateral trade of USA and China, USA is the losing side. China has an economic edge over USA in terms of economic prosperity. Other than that, this trade deficit, this trust deficit rather, is reflected in every region of the world. We see that in the Middle Eastern region in the form of in form of the petrodollar, petro-yuan discourse that we hear about. Then we have that reflected in the Taiwan issue. We have that reflected in the South China Sea, and so on. So because of the economic trust deficit USA has developed towards China over the years, USA is adopting the policy of protectionism and isolationism. That is the Monroe Doctrine. So that's my view about this.
Britain has left European Union.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Brexit. So Britain has left European Union because of a number of reasons. First of all, the reason of a social reason. A lot of refugees have been incoming in the United Kingdom. Because of being a part of European Union, they had to agree to the Schengen Agreement, where they have open borders. And because of the open borders, UK was prone to having influx of refugees. So first of all, the native are not very comfortable with that fact. Secondly, UK is of the view that UK has been one of the major beneficiaries of the European Union. in terms of in economic terms, and it puts a lot of economic burden on UK. Other than that, we see that the society of UK is dominated by middle-aged people because it's a developed country. Youth overpopulation is not a problem. They have control rate of population, and a major sector of the society is the middle-aged people. Middle-aged people see economic prosperity as their benefit. And since being a part of European Union puts Britain at stake regarding economic prosperity, so the society was of the view that we need to leave European Union.
Are you reading newspaper?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the major news of the day?
Sir, Malala's comment on our permanent representative in the United Nations, Munir Akram. He recently said that whatever atrocities have been happening with the women and human rights violation in Afghanistan is not because of the Taliban's culture. It's majorly Pashtun culture. So Malala, being a Pashtun woman and emerging from Swat Valley when war on terror and militancy's rise was at peak, so she was antagonized at this statement. Antagonized might not be a very suitable word, but she said that it's not about the culture, it's about the mindset. If I can come out of a region that was majorly constituted of Pashtun, that was Pashtun, then why not? Why are we stereotyping a specific culture that it is suppressing human rights in women? And she also gave the example of Bacha Khan, 20th century Pashtun. He was an activist. So she mentioned Bacha Khan. He said that if you want to see how civilized the society is, you need to see how much respect they give to their women and how much they fight for their human rights. So she was of the view that Mr. Munir Akram's statement was rather stereotyping of the Pashtun culture.
The ex-president of Pakistan has died today. Who is he?
General retired Pervez Musharraf.
Who is the living president now? Ex-living president in Pakistan.
Mr. Zardari.
Okay.
Mr. Asif Ali Zardari.
Tell us the implication of sanctions which West imposed on Russia and China and Iran.
Okay.
What do you think? What are these sanctions? How they impact the economy of other countries?
So starting with Russia, because in the context of Russia-Ukraine war, USA could not stop European Union and India from importing oil at a discounted price because it is the world demand now. It's a global energy demand that we need to buy oil, and the European countries are overwhelmingly outrightly dependent on Russian gas. So they could not, USA could not completely separate the rest of the world from Russia. So even then, USA has tried to put sanctions on oil export, gas export, gold export of Russia. Talking about Iran, in the context of JCPOA, Iran is under the JCPOA agreement. Iran is made to export highly enriched uranium to Turkey and Russia, and economic blockades are imposed on Iran regarding the nuclear deal. That's all I can think of regarding the sanctions imposed on Iran.
Foreign Service of Pakistan is your first choice. How is Ukrainian war impacting the world at large?
Sir, it has created an international super cycle because of the increased rate of hydrocarbons to begin with. European countries are overwhelmingly dependent on Russian gas, just like I've mentioned before, through the Nord Stream 2. I'd like to quote example of Macedonia, whose domestic housewarming system is 99% dependent on Russian gas. Then we have UK, we have Germany. UK was of the view that it will cut down its import of Russian gas by 50% till the end of this year, but it would not. Similar is the case with France and Germany. So there has been an international super cycle of inflation on the hydrocarbon because Russia is an important exporter of hydrocarbon. So then Ukraine and Russia collectively are huge exporters of wheat. So the wheat industry has faced the brunt of Russia-Ukraine war. Other than that, oil exports that come under the hydrocarbon major head of hydrocarbon. Other than that, it has somehow set a precedent for the smaller countries of Eastern European countries. A trust deficit has been created because countries like Finland and the Baltic countries, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, they are fearful of the fact that they might be the next country that Russia is going to invade. So there's a trust deficit that has collectively been created in the Eastern European countries. Other than that, it creates a kind of impetus for China to invade, intervene, or annex the territorial, it's country which China has territorial reservations with, the irredentist policies of China. It can kind of give an impetus to irredentist policies of China. So it has set a precedent for the larger countries of the world to enforce their policies on the neighboring smaller vassal countries.
You see, the political differences of our political leaders, they're not able to decide themselves amongst themselves.
Yes.
So those issues, they are taken to the courts, and the courts, you see, have to decide those issues, political issues. How is that reflecting the governance of our state?
Sir, courts so far have upheld the constitution to the best of their power. The recent example of vote of no confidence, the court has protected the constitution, which is its responsibility. But the political situation and turning towards the court again and again is creating an atmosphere of ambiguity in the governance. That's all I can say about the situation right now. It's creating a sense of ambiguity that it's your job. The other person says that it's your job. It's a vicious cycle of blame game that is prevailing.
What is CCI and its role in the Constitution of Pakistan?
The Council of Common Interest, if my memory serves me well, according to the Article 156 of the Constitution, it's constituted. And it has a number of duties. Basically, what it does, it bridges the gap between the center and the provinces, and the budgetary issues, the administrative issues. It creates a link between the center and the provinces to solve those issues. It gives them a common platform.
You have listed your strong point. Strong-headed.
Yes, sir.
Strong-headed. Do you think it should be your strength, strong-headed, or you should be using some other word? What does strong-headed mean?
Sir, my perspective of using this word was that when I set my mind to something, I do it regardless of whatever happens.
So you say you are determined.
Sir, I thought determined might be a cliche word, but I'll look into it.
And what do you mean by have high boundaries? That is your weakness.
Sir, I would use a synonym of having trust issues. I cannot trust people easily. So because of that reason, I do not allow more and more people to come into my life. Like, I'm very selective about my friends and so on. So because of that, I see that as a weakness because I'm not very social. I'm very selective about who I socialize with.
Uchiya Davara? High boundaries, huh?
Yes, ma'am. You can say that.
Okay. Foreign service is your first choice.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you describe hierarchy of an embassy? The structure of an embassy?
I'm sorry, ma'am, I cannot. I'll have to look into that.
You were recently talking about Brexit.
Yes, ma'am.
And you enumerated, amongst other factors, refugees issue. Europe and North America, particularly USA, have had reservations about refugees. And yet, economic surveys tell that their aging populations need the young population. Why do you think is that duplicity in their policies?
Ma'am, that would primarily be because of a xenophobic sense that has developed in the Western world, because of white supremacy. That is the basic reason that I think exists behind this. there is an extreme sense of white, the popular English school of thought of international relations, that it is us who has given the world democracy and capitalism, that the world is in developing so much. So it's white supremacy and xenophobia. I think that is their primary reservations.
True. Thank you. Today is 5th of February. Why do we call it Kashmir Solidarity Day?
Ma'am, because of the UN resolution that was passed in 1949, the 47th resolution of UN, which was to end the first ever war between Pakistan and India. The reason behind that was Kashmir issue, and the UN decided that there is going to be ceasefire between the two armies, there is going to be evacuation of both of the armies from the land of Kashmir, and thirdly, there is going to be a plebiscite that is going to be held in the Kashmir region. It is going to be the prerogative of people to what state they want to join. So ever since then, no plebiscite referendum have held, and there has been an increased amount of human rights violation and persecution against Kashmiri people. There has been a complete change of demography, and in 1990 it was declared that we will celebrate 5th February as Solidarity Day. But today we have seen that there has been an increased amount of extremism towards the Kashmiri people. There has been revocation of Article 370 and 35A in August 5, 2019. So the situation is deteriorating, and basically our day has little symbolic significance for that. It requires more of a brave decision, a brave movement that we need to take. But it is just a symbolic representation, a symbolic day that we celebrate to give them a warm sense of brotherhood, that we are standing right behind you, and there needs to be a decision of Kashmiri people to what they want to join, which state they want to join.
You like to watch international TV series,
Yes, sir.
for example?
Recently, just 2 weeks back, I finished The Crown. And I watch multiple TV series whenever I have time. I've also been binge watching Gilmore Girls, The Queen's Gambit, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and so on.
And your favorite games include table tennis.
Okay.
Does this game have another name also?
Ping pong?
Yes. Yes, it is. So, you also know physics well, huh? What is a God particle?
Higgs boson. Higgs boson. It's Higgs boson. Basically, in 2013, in the CERN laboratory, which is in Switzerland, an experiment was held to see what constitutes the subatomic particle. So they have hadron colliders for that. It's a huge circular path consisting of a diameter of 27 kilometers roughly. And what happens is that they eject high-speed protons and subatomic particles in that. And when they collide, to see what constitutes those subatomic particles, they are made to collide. And when they collide, a field is a very temporary timely field is created. That's Higgs field. That is something that gives mass to subatomic particles, and that is the reason why this universe exists in the first place. So Higgs boson that is also called the God particle, is a fundamental particle that exists in that Higgs field. So it was a very important observation, and the scientists who carried out this experiment were given the Nobel Prize in 2013.
Thank you so much.
And related to this, as we're talking right now, is there any relations between quantum physics and Higgs particle or God particle?
Yes, sir. There is a direct relation. So Higgs boson, which is the fundamental particle of Higgs field is the reason that gives mass to subatomic particles. And if there would not have been any Higgs field, there would not have been any subatomic particle or this universe to begin with. So quantum particles deal with the elementary and subatomic particles. So it's something that gives mass to them, na?
Can you shed some light on dark energy?
No, sir, I won't be able to.
Dark matter.
Sir, I've studied it, but I cannot recall it this time.
What is third law of thermodynamics?
Third law of thermodynamics. Sir, I need to revise that.
Okay. You read international relations.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you name the entente powers in the First World War?
First World War.
Or
France.
the Triple Alliance? Yes.
Yes, sir. France, Britain, Russia, and under Britain, I mean all of the colonies of the Great Britain. Australia, Canada, the United India, and Japan, and Italy also. Italy came in the end.
When happened Ribbentrop-Molotov Pact? And between Which states?
Russia and Germany.
Russia and Germany about what?
It was regarding the annexation of Poland.
Annexation of Poland.
I think I'm mixing. I want to retract here.
Okay, what are the net impact of Great Depression of United States of America on Europe?
You want me to state a figure?
Yeah. Net impact of Great Depression on Europe.
Sir, it was in billions of dollars. I cannot state an exact figure, but it was in billions of dollars.
What happened in Europe then?
Sir, the Great Depression came, economic recession. What happened was Germany and the Triple Alliance lost in the First World War, and Germany was made to pay the war reparations, and Germany was made to stop its economic activity. And
was there a rise of totalitarian states in Europe?
yes, sir.
Which one?
Italy under Mussolini.
Yeah. Which what that was state? Under which philosophy they emerged? Italy.
So fascism.
Fascism. What is fascism?
So fascism is a totalitarian approach in which you need to have a religious allegiance, religious or ethnic allegiance towards the state, in which there is an economic classless society, and there is a sense of nationalism and hatred toward xenophobia, supremacy of your own state and looking down upon the other states.
Which state started space race? In which year?
1951, Sputnik, Russia.
In which year? 1951?
Sir, I might not be sure about the date.
I can tell. This is my last question. When All India Muslim League incorporated the idea of self-rule in its political manifesto?
Sir, it would be, I guess, it would be Lucknow Pact 1916?
No. 1913. After that, Qaid-e-Azam joined All India Muslim League. Okay, thank you.
Let's conclude this formal discussion. Let's have an informal discussion. Okay. Batao, what do you feel? What is your assessment about yourself?
I performed the worst in IR and Pakistan affairs, pre-partition.
So you need to improve.
I need to revise my concepts. I was aware of the concepts, but I could not recall because I have not recently touched them.
Even mashallah, you have got a very good personality. तुम्हारे communication skill बड़े ठीक हैं, intelligent हो, confidence level भी है, knowledge भी तुम्हारा reasonably better है, लेकिन the weak areas are with you, तुम्हें identify कर दिए हैं. You are very good, but you are not prepared for the battle. वो जो battle होती है ना, उसके लिए तैयारी करनी पड़ती है. तो उस बैटल की तैयारी होती है स्टेट ऑफ प्रिपेयर्डनेस. स्टेट ऑफ प्रिपेयर्डनेस ऐसे हुई शार्प हो जाए आदमी. कटिंग होता है, स्वॉर्ड कटिंग, समथिंग लाइक दैट. यू नीड टू फोकस, क्योंकि यू आर ए विनिंग हार्स. तुम उन बच्चों में हो जो कि दे कैन मेक इट. अब मसला ये होगा, तुम्हारा कंपटीशन हो जाएगा उन लोगों के साथ 200 ऊपर वाले जो चले जाते हैं. ठीक है ना. तो वी हैव सीन लॉट मेनी चिल्ड्रन, दे आर वेरी शार्प, इंटेलिजेंट है, मेहनत कर रहे हैं. ठीक है. तो मेरा ये ख्याल है कि एक तो इंट्रोडक्शन पे वर्क करो. 1 मिनट का इंट्रोडक्शन हो, 1 मिनट में आप अपनी तय करो. यू नीड टू वर्क. एक लिखो अपना 10 पेजेस अपने बारे में लिखो, देन केम आउट विद 1 पेज. दैट विल बी यू. ठीक है. न्यूज़पेपर रीडिंग, पिछले 90 दिन के अखबार 3 महीने को उठाओ, उसकी नेशनल, इंटरनेशनल, सोशल न्यूज़ सारी स्कैन करो. ठीक है ना. और उनके फिर अपनी, होप यू आर मेंटेनिंग दिस नोटबुक और नॉट.
Yes, I am. I have done 2 of those. I've made 2 of those.
ठीक है. तो इस पे एक हेडिंग 4-5 पॉइंट, नॉट मोर देन दैट, नॉट मोर देन 5 पॉइंट. एनर्जी क्राइसिस 5 पॉइंट, यूएस चाइना 5 पॉइंट, अफगानिस्तान इशू 5 पॉइंट, इंडिया पाकिस्तान 5. तो डोंट. अब ये है कि भाई तुमने प्रॉम्प्ट जवाब देने हैं. तो अगर 3-4 पॉइंट भी आप वैलिड दे देते हैं तो बात कंप्लीट हो जाती है. ठीक है. तो इम्प्रूव योर नॉलेज.
बिल्कुल, ये आपकी अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस आपने दी है. और ये एक सवाल जो मैं पता नहीं आप समझे नहीं, मैं पॉलिटिकल जो इश्यूज, डिफरेंसेस जो कोर्ट्स में जा रहे हैं, इसकी एडजुडिकेशन में कोर्ट इन्वॉल्व हो जाती है, तो कोर्ट की क्रेडिबिलिटी पे एक पार्टी जिसके हक में फैसला होता है वो उसको अप्रिशिएट करती है, जिसके हक में फैसला नहीं होता तो कोर्ट्स कंट्रोवर्शियल हो रही है। ये कोर्ट्स जो है पॉलिटिकल इश्यूज को जब वो डिसाइड करेंगी तो वो कंट्रोवर्शियल होंगी ना, तो डेट इज जो है ये उसका जो मैंने जो आपको सवाल किया था, दैट वाज वन ऑफ द आंसर्स व्हिच यू शुड हैव गिवन। बाकी ठीक है, और ये स्ट्रॉन्ग हेडेड आपने लिखा है, ये स्ट्रॉन्ग हेडेड इज नॉट द राइट वर्ड। हाँ, इसका कोई और अच्छा वर्ड ढूंढे, ठीक है। ओके।
Eamon, you have a very good personality. You are properly dressed. Uh, you will be asked questions on the form that you fill. Everything that you write, you should understand and have full control of. If foreign service is your first option, then you should know a lot about foreign service. You can't show ignorance for your top priority.
Okay.
Same goes for PAS. What is district structure? What is administration? What is the boundary areas? All those details you should know. It's good that you had only one personality. I hope you had full knowledge of Ashfaq Ahmed and his life and his works. It's not just his works, his life also. And how Bano Qudsiya, the interaction
With the Ashfaq Ahmed.
Ashfaq Ahmed, how did it play out as a tandem couple, all those things you have to think of. What possible question could come on this? Same goes for your hobbies. Limit them.
Okay.
Limit them because you can be asked what is the size of a basketball court.
Okay.
That may not come to your mind immediately. So whatever information you provide, you're basically opening your flanks. So if you cover your flanks, then you have more, success options. Like Saud Saab said, think about the words that you use here. Otherwise, I'm confident that you will be in foreign service. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, I mean, अभी जैसे अशफाक अहमद से रिलेटेड ना एक चीज़ बहुत ज़्यादा है कि उनके जो लेक्चर्स हैं वो पैसिफिस्ट बना देते हैं और पैसिव बना देते हैं। जब आपने पर्सनैलिटी लिखी है तो तमाम एस्पेक्ट को भी आपने देखना है कि और उसको डिफेंड भी करना पड़ सकता है। एंड 1858 में 1859 में एक बुक आई थी, ओरिजिन ऑफ स्पीशीज बाय मींस ऑफ नेचुरल सिलेक्शन। जो कंपटीशन है ना, कंपटीशन सर्वाइवल ऑफ द फिटेस्ट की जो फिलोसफी वी ड्राइव फ्रॉम दैट बुक। दिस इज अ कंपटीशन, इसमें आप जा रही हैं और इसमें जो फिटेस्ट होंगे वही सर्वाइव करेंगे। ठीक है, आपके सिर्फ आपका बहुत अच्छा इंटरव्यू हुआ और चूंकि इतना अच्छा इंटरव्यू है मैंने थोड़े से और मुश्किल क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछे। रिमेंबर, दिस इज नॉट ओनली इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस, बाकी सारे सब्जेक्ट्स भी होंगे। पाकिस्तान अफेयर्स, फिजिक्स भी हो सकती है, जेंडर स्टडीज, क्रिमिनोलॉजी भी है, जो कि आपके फॉर्म पर लिखे हुए हैं। उनको थोड़ा सा रिवाइज कर लीजिएगा और अब जो चीज़ ग्रे एरियाज उनको इम्प्रूव कीजिएगा। ठीक है, आई होप कि आपका अच्छा इंटरव्यू होगा, फाइनल इंटरव्यू। थैंक यू।
Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Allah Hafiz.